Welcome back to episode 50 of Katawa Shoujo. Let's begin.
Well, you've made enough to feed an army in here. Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers when you go.
That sounds great. Can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked will be won't change of pace.
Well, you said thanks. Well,
The food tastes just as good as it smells. There's a long conversation while we all dig in. And it sorts her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself.
so, Hisao, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close.
The urge to say something like, not really, so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reassert control. We are close, there's not getting around it. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emi brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emi and her mother seem to take my reaction as harm that I'm caught off guard, rather than considering saying something proper. Suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself.
You make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. Well, I for one found it a relief.
What was that?
She's always been a popular girl, but never made any close friends.
This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emi chatting with her classmates in the hallways. Certainly the old track team seemed to love her, but it is true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with her enemy. Not exactly the sort of behaviour from a popular girl after all. But again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say I'm surprised.
I was beginning to have my doubts.
Emi rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said?
Nothing?
You see Rizaki chokes on her drink with laughter.
You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emi. I'm going to have to talk about him.
Correcting my daughter. What did I miss? Yeah, I've missed it. Somehow I don't think that would be very effective.
I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse.
That fighting smug look.
Don't listen to her, Hisao. She's a born liar. Yeah, right.
Oh, I don't know, Emi. I think Mother has a point.
What? You traitor. You're supposed to take my side in this.
Yeah, but you did lie about your leg after we met out. Kicking the shin from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before. Miss Urazaki's eyebrows shoot upwards.
What about your leg? Wasn't a big deal. That's all. I was just in the wheelchair for a bit.
The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Miss Mother. Suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and worried a frown appears on her face.
So that's why you kept dodging my calls.
Well, he kept dodging my calls.
Oh, Emi. I know how much you hate being in the wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately.
Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak.
Well, of course, she spent most of her time in the chair after the accident.
She didn't get prosthetics immediately.
No, she had to finish up healing up before they let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since you wanted to run on them.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival?
And this sudden change of the topic makes me realise belatedly that she's fidgeting the whole time. Her mother and I have been talking. Should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother.
No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember?
Well, I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet. It seemed pretty weird to me.
think it's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike or trying to make it dreamlike. Turns out it's one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise. All the same, she doesn't think it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Emi's talked with Rin this extensively on the fact that Rin's opinion, such as it is. Although I expect that Rin could not, if she were so inclined, say the same about Emi's. Unless, of course, Emi's purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey Emi, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Are you going to visit your father this year? From the way she says it, you'd think Emi's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Emi reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards as if she's just been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. Looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. Seems that it's Miss Ibarozaki misjudged how close Emi and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me. Her father is one of those things. The accident that took her leg is probably another one of those things. If her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is any indication, doesn't take Emi's mother long to realise she's screwed up. Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. Just wanted to ask so I could make plans. It's fine, don't worry about it. Emi fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me today, less than a few hours ago even. Why does a simple question when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening had suddenly evaporated. Or it didn't help as much as she thought or claimed. I'll be right back. I'll go visit the little girl's room. And he gets up and suddenly leaves the table, leaving me and Miss Ibarozaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emi's departure would not be based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her. I have to know what it is. How about it? I will create a save point here. And you know what? Let's see. I think it's pretty best if they don't want us to know, just to talk to the mum. There's an awkward silence at the table for a while. After Emi dashes off, can't think of anything to say. Emi's mother sighs, breaking the silence. Sorry about that, Hisao. I sometimes forget that Emi's touchy about certain subjects. I was talking about the wheelchair thing, too. Should I go after her? Heavens no, she didn't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know? But if she's troubled, shouldn't someone help her? If it were anyone else, I'd say yes, but my daughter is stubborn as a mule, and if she wants to be alone, it's best to let her be alone. Otherwise, she'll probably say something she'd regret, which would cause you to say something you'd regret. And I prefer that dinner doesn't end with one or both of you storming out of the house. If that were to happen, I'd be a terrible hostess, wouldn't I? I've already acted as a fool once today. That's okay. I shouldn't have brought up the wheelchair, apparently. Miss Ibarozaki frowns, clearly more bothered by Emi's omission than she'd let on. I wish you wouldn't do that. It just makes me worry more, you know? She does this often. What? Running off to a bathroom? No, can't say she does. Keep injuries from her mother though? Well, that's a little more common. Every time I catch her lying like that, she assured me that the only reason she didn't tell me was because it wasn't a big deal. If it's any consolation, I'm sure the only reason I knew about it was because I saw her every day. This elicits a dry chuckle from across the table. You see Rozaki sighs, a little sadly. Still hesitant about getting close to people, huh? Keep hoping she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She's bounced back so well from the accident in so many ways. I guess some things really never go away. From the looks of it, the whole conversation still bothers her too. She seemed to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emi around though. Hey, I've got a question, if it's alright. Oh? What else did Emi lose in the accident? The nurse said that she gets this way near the anniversary. She won't talk to me about it. So you thought I'd fill you in, yeah, hopefully. Well, there's a problem with that request, you know? Let me guess, you promised Emi that you wouldn't tell anyone she didn't want to know. And you don't know if she wants me to know. Something like that. I promised Emi that she'd be the one to tell people the full story. But isn't that important? I mean, it's clearly had a huge effect on her if she's still like this so long after the accident happened. That's true. It did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are still a few things that she'll probably never really get over. For a moment, Rozaki looks incredibly saddened, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose that there are a few things I'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, and with a shake of her head, Emma's mother banishes the memory. Look, there's something you absolutely must understand about the way Emi thinks about the accident. What's that? Wasn't a big deal. Somehow I managed to keep my mouth from falling open in surprise, but it takes some effort. That's to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's pretty accurate summation. Emi believes that the accident did not define her, and that everything she lost that day didn't define her either. She's not that girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of that wreck without scratch as far as she's concerned. Yeah, it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refuses to rely on me because it would make losing me too painful. Not really. You said she won't tell you about the accident even though you've asked her about it before. The reason she won't talk about it when you ask is because to her it's not something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting too close to anyone, she still wouldn't talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me. Oh goodness, yes. For all the talk about being unscathed by an accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. So she's not going to let people get especially close to her, and she certainly would resent any implication that she cannot work for it on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no, you saying you've been dating my daughter and nobody else? Trust me, Hisao, she could get through on her own. But she has nightmares and can't sleep, and she does this every year. Tell me, if she wasn't able to get through it on her own, do you really think she'd still be alive? She would have killed herself. Or something equally melodramatic. So what? I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this. And knowing that she could rely on someone else wouldn't let me relax. I just need to understand that accepting help goes against everything Emi thinks about herself and the way the world works. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I'd like you to. But it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anyone else she's ever met at Yamaku. Well, it sure doesn't feel that like we're very close. Good. That makes this part easier. Emma's voice nearly gave me a heart attack. Well, didn't you come back, Emi? How convenient. Why, were you eavesdropping? No, just happened to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emi, Hisao was just...
Emi holds a finger, cutting her mother off. On his way out of the house? Yeah, I know. Emi's trembling with anger now, looking vaguely betrayed. Emi, don't be ridiculous. We were just... You promised. The pain carried into the last word is almost too much for me to bear. The idea that I could get her that much as being like being kicked in the gut. And his mother looked similarly pained by the thought. And I kept that promise. Just listen. There's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. And his mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I'm the witness to it. There's only one real solution to this problem, I think. It's okay, I'll go. No, really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Thank you for dinner, Miss Urizaki, and for the advice. It was my pleasure, Hisao. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay. I have to watch what I eat anyway. Good evening, Emi, Miss Urizaki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, seems to snap Emi out of her anger. No, wait, I'm sorry, I've been so... And after last night, I just thought... You don't have to go. I take it back, it's okay. I can't help but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology, and I really would like to stay. But I don't think I can right now. I need to think about what her mother said, and about what I'm going to do about her. Don't want to risk accidentally getting Emi angry again in her current state either. No. I think I'd better leave. You seem pretty shook up, and well, I'd only wind up trying to help you again. I know you prefer that I didn't, so I'm going to leave instead. But, hey, it's not a problem. You don't want a night on a right charger, right? Just promise me one thing, okay? What? Don't be angry at your mum, okay? She was just giving me some advice, that's all. Emi nods hesitantly. Like, this simple idea is all that she can grab on to at this point. She's so terribly off balance. But I can't do anything about that right now. Okay. See you tomorrow, okay? Running in the morning, don't forget. You can see that I've hurt Emi by deciding to leave, but there's nothing I can do for her as things stand. And I know that she's too stunned to admit that she wants me to stick around. I watch various emotions cross Emi's face as she tries to process everything that's just happened. Shortly comes that calm look again like last night, and that voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Hisao, see you around. Both of us are unwilling to concede emotion at this point, and I'm having a hard time keeping up my facade, so I turn on my heel and walk out the door. I shut behind me slowly, pausing for a moment as the latch catches on my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision just now? Should I have stayed and tried to work things out? No. I decided not in front of her mother like that, in spite of everything. I'd rather keep Emi's mother insulated from the sort of anger that surfaced last night. Even though she's probably used to it, some protective instinct wants me to keep Emi's image as cheerful girl intact. With a start, I realise my hand is still resting on the knob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. I let out a long breath and wait until tomorrow morning comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I have to think on what to say to Emi. I must apologise and I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something's been on my mind for the most of the way back to my room. A letter of apology from Iwanaka. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it that I didn't even bother to really read it. Now that I find myself in a similar position, my curiosity got rekindled. So, what did she want so badly to let me know? If nothing else, reading her thoughts might help me frame mine. I remember tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw that thing? I check under the desk. That turns up nothing, so I look for a harder to reach more unlikely locations. Well, now that I know that
where the lost stock went, at least. Still, no letter bar. So when I try sweeping up my arm under my nightstand, I feel something crinkly and jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little, with an effort, I reach for my prize and soon manage to bring it into the light. Bingo. Sit at my desk, spread the crumpled paper open, and a flick turns on the table light. Skipping past the empty pleasantries, I look for the point where I stopped reading. Here it is. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the accident back in winter. I really regret I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. The truth is, the times when I visited you at the hospital made me worried about you. I'm not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant and disheartened. It was natural after something like that happened, I'm sure. But somehow I got the feeling that you'd given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe? Giving up on happiness. It sounds unpleasantly familiar. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. At least now I can finally be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March and tell you not to give up on yourself, that's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your own feet. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you'd like to correspond with me, by all means, write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new skill and how you're doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Iwanaka. After reading that letter, I'll smooth it out carefully, sit aside on my desk. Thank you, Iwanaka. I wanted to answer yes to your question on that snowy winter day, but never got it. By the time we met again, it was too late. Also, I thought, what would have happened if I behaved differently back in the dismally sterile hospital room? I'm sorry, there's no point wondering it now. There's no point trying to forget either. I am who I am because of all that's happened to me, and all I look forward to experience, present, future, and past. And the past may have just taught me an important lesson now. Well, I think that's where I'll end it for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.